In this video, I'm going to show you how I'm creating my temperature blanket. I'm starting it on Christmas Eve of 2020, and I'm just going to go up until December 23rd of 2021. I'm assembling this blanket in a corner-to-corner fashion, which I'll explain more about later in this video. I'm using a 5.5 millimeter eye crochet hook, and I'm using City Tweed DK weight yarn. You can find this on Crochet.com and also on Knit Picks. I like to start my squares with the magic circle. If you don't prefer this method, that's fine, and you can start it in a different way. But basically, you just wrap it around your finger twice like this, and then you kind of make this little X over the top of your fingers. Just sort of pinch it there and hold it with your crochet hook. Just grab that end and then start chaining. You're going to chain 5 to begin. And then you just work all your stitches right into this hole. So we're going to start by making a double crochet cluster of 3. So there's 2, and then there's 3 right here, and you'll have 4 loops on your hook, and you just need to pull through all 4 of those hooks to make your cluster. Now you're going to chain 2, and now you're going to double crochet into this magic circle here, chain 2 again, make another cluster of 3 double crochets, 2 and 3, pull through all 4 loops on your hook, and chain 2. Make another double crochet, chain 2, make another cluster, chain 2, another double crochet, and finally you're going to do one more cluster, so you're going to have 4 clusters, and you're going to have 4 double crochets. Your 5 chain from the very beginning is going to count as your first double crochet. So just tighten that up, and now you're going to slip stitch to the 3rd chain. So you'll have your chain 3 and then your chain 2 from your chain 5. Now for row 2, you're going to chain 3, and now right into that little hole where your chain 3 just came from, you're going to double crochet 3 into that hole, into that little chain hole right there. Okay, now you're going to make 1 double crochet. It's going to be like a front post double crochet around your cluster stitch. It's going to make that little leaf pop right out. Now into the top of your stitch of your double crochet from row 1, you're going to double crochet 7 double crochets into the top of this double crochet stitch. Alright, now you're going to front post double crochet around your cluster stitch. And then you're going to do 7 double crochet again into your double crochet from your previous row. Front post double crochet around your cluster stitch. 7 double crochet into your double crochet stitch from your row 1. Right, now you need to just double crochet, front post double crochet around that last cluster stitch. And now right into the stitch right next to where that chain stitch is coming up. There's your chain stitch. Right next to that there's a little spot, and you're going to need to put 3 double crochet right into that little stitch. And now you're going to slip stitch to the 3rd chain. And there we go. This goes super fast. And they're so cute. They're about 2.5 inches wide. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how we start our single crochet little border and how we join as we go. So you're going to chain 1, and then right into that same chain stitch that you just came out of, you're going to insert your hook and you're going to do a single crochet. Now you have 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, along the top of your 3 double crochet stitches. You should anyway, so just make sure. You're going to crochet a second, a third, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and a 9th. So you should have 9 single crochet stitches on every edge, and you're going to chain 1 at your corners. But for this part of your joining, you're going to pull your loop up, because this is where we're going to start joining to the rest of the blanket. Okay, so we're going to start by crocheting down the right side of a square, and then we're going to join the corners, and then we're going to go down the top of that square. So your wrong sides are always going to go together. You're going to want to find the little chain 1 area from the square you're going to join to, insert your hook, and then pull your loop from your working square. Just pull it right through and then chain 1. Now to join them together, you're going to start by inserting your hook through your working square and then the same corresponding stitch on your finished square. And then you're just going to single crochet together for 9 stitches. And I'm just kind of single crocheting this little tail in as I do this. Okay, so then when we get to the corner, got our 9th single crochet stitch here. We're going to just pull up a loop again. And I'm showing you how to join to 2 because that's kind of the hardest part here. So find where your other 2 squares joined together. So right here you can see the green and the blue are joined here at their corner. So then we're going to find each corner, insert your hook, and then you're going to pull that working loop right through those 2 corner stitches. And then just chain 1. And then you're going to single crochet 9 together right down the edge of these 2 squares. Now, these are just some of my colors that I've chosen. I actually have 17 colors that I'm going to be working with for this blanket. Seems like a lot, but I'm really excited to see all of the color transitions as I go along. And I've chosen to do a square for the high and a square for the low just because sometimes I've learned that temperature blankets can get a little blocky and I wanted my colors to break up a little bit. So I'm going to be doing 2 little squares a day. Once you get going, you can whip out a square in 10 minutes or less, and that's with joining it. So here we are at the corner here. I chained 1, and I'm no longer going to be attaching to anything. So right into that same corner where I just went, where I came out of, I did another single crochet to turn, and we're going back down the edge here. So every corner stitch is going to have 2 single crochets in it. It's a single crochet, a chain 1, and a single crochet, just so you can make a nice turn. And this little stitch right here next to your chain is going to be your last single crochet stitch, so your 9th one. So just make your chain 1 after your 9th single crochet stitch, and then single crochet to your first single crochet. You just cut your yarn and pull through. So there we go. We have another block on our temperature blanket here. I like that it looks similar to a quilt. And I love how the little flowers just kind of pop out, or little leaves, or whatever you want to call them, but I love how they pop out. So here's my top one, and here's the very first one I started with. This was December 24th, the high, and this was the low, and then this was Christmas high, Christmas low, and then you just keep going. They're like steps. Each row is like steps. So just keep going in a line, and you just keep adding. So that'll be where my next one is. When we get to the top, we just join to the top of that square. And when we get to the bottom, we join right here to that edge, to the right side edge. All right, that's it. I hope you're excited to make this. I am really excited to watch all the colors come together. Just be sure to always join to your right side when you're starting a new row.